Welcome to episode
I don't even fucking
9. I think it's 9.
Are you sure?
I'm going to say 9. I don't know. It could be 8, could be 7, could be 12. But I'm pretty sure it's 9.
Okay, cool.
Of Dude Awakening podcast. I'm here, your co-host, Scott Busby, with Nick Galavies.
How's it going, everyone?
What up, dude?
How you doing?
I'm exhausted right now. As I was driving, I literally drove all the way to San Luis Obispo last night, or I should say yesterday around noon, to do 6 minutes of comedy at an open mic that I didn't get paid for.
Super turnaround. When you said you were going, I was like, oh, you're going to make a weekend out of it?
No.
Cool. And then you're like, no, we're going to be back tomorrow to record. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That's a
my
long drive.
buddy of mine, a comedian buddy of mine, was going to fly us up there in his little 2-seater plane. And I was stoked on that, but he got stuck in work. And so I had asked my cousins if they would come out if I went and did some comedy. And they're like, oh, hell yeah, we're going to bring some friends. And I was like, and they just kept texting me. And then I was like telling my one cousin, like, dude, I'm not going to go if my buddy can't get out of work, to go fly. And he's like, just rent a car, dude, or just drive up. And I was just like, dude, what? Yeah. Well, because I couldn't get the hood open to my truck.
Okay.
So I didn't feel comfortable driving my truck up there.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, just rent a car, dude. I'll throw you down some cash. And I was like, dude, I don't really want to drive 5 hours, And then Alyssa was there. And she's like, oh, I guess, well, yeah, I'm dating a girl named Alyssa. There you go.
She's awesome.
Yeah. So she's like, no, dude, I can just, if we can come back, like, by this time, like, I will drive up. And so it turned out to be a really fun.
So I got questions about, you have a friend that has a plane. I've never mentioned that before, which whatever.
He's a comedian.
Yeah, but what the fuck, dude? Like a plane to cruise up, a prop plane, you said it was a 2-seater?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ask him important questions about this plane? Maintenance of that fucking vehicle.
Dude.
Those things fall out of the sky all the fucking time.
Okay.
Yeah. And you're way too early in your career to die now in a fucking plane.
Dude. I mean, that's probably the only way people will start talking about me.
No shit. They're like, afterwards.
There's this unknown comedian was not important to anybody
until he
fell out of the sky.
But no, the only way I would get into one of those small fucking planes is if it came with a parachute.
Okay.
That's the only fucking way.
Well, we were only going to fly like 50 feet over the ground.
Sure.
We're like flying right above the 405, dude. Just
following.
Yeah, just throwing peanut shells out at cars.
I don't think that John Wayne Airport would appreciate you cruising on the 405.
Yeah, I'm sure, dude. He keeps his plane down in Oceanside, I think. But dude, he flies it all the time, and I'm down with it. One of my buddies, who I won't say his last name, but his name's Sean.
Okay.
He works for Alaska Airlines now as a pilot. But when he first got his pilot's license, he was flying little Cessnas, dude. And for my 30th birthday, he took me on a flight out from John Wayne, dude. And so we flew out of John Wayne Airport, which is Santa Ana Airport in Orange County, California. We were flying out and we went up. And first of all, I was impressed, like him, like knowing all the things to do, all the knobs and levers,
flying the plane,
and all of like the verbiage and lingo and stuff that you have to tell to like the air traffic controllers. So we fly up out of John Wayne and we're going over, so we're going towards the ocean, towards Newport, right? And we go up and then we kind of cut south a little bit. And we go up over the hills, like over the toll road, And then we kind of I think we were like maybe at like 4,000 or 5,000 feet. And we're just cruising right over like Laguna Beach, right? Okay. Like going south towards Dana Point. Yeah. And I'm sitting and dude, this is how small it was, is like it was no wider than 2 of these seats.
So like hugging each other.
Yes. So like my shoulder is touching his shoulder.
Okay.
And my right shoulder is touching the window. Right.
Whoa.
That's how small, dude. It's small. And this thing was squirrely, like any little gust of air. And this thing's like, dropping 10, 20 feet. So we're cruising, dude. We're doing our thing, and it's like, it was interesting because there's no like air conditioning in there. You just like open this little port on the window.
Yeah.
You just open this little like hole on the window and it just shoots, cause I don't know. You're going at, I don't know how fast a knot is, but you're going,
it's a little under 1 mile per hour.
You better not ask me that question. But we're going and we're cruising and I'm, it's cool, dude. And he's like, hey, Busby, can you see the beach, like the sand underneath us? And I was like, I look to the left and I see the hills of like Laguna Beach, right?
Yeah.
And then I look to the right and I just see ocean. And I look ahead and I can see the beach and like towards Dana Point. And I was like, yeah, I can see the beach in front of us. He's like, no, can you see the beach right below us? And I said, no. And the second I said no, he shoved the yoke in, dude, and we just go, bro. Just, and I'm like, I can see it. I can see it. Oh. Dude, it was so, my stomach like went, bro. Dude, just talk about feeling alive and awake.
And scared as fuck.
Yes, dude. And he just drops that thing down and he just goes, just laughing at me, dude, pulling it slowly back as we just dropped like 2,000 feet in like 3 seconds. Dude, I was, yeah, dude, it was gnarly. I don't know if we dropped 2,000 feet 3 seconds.
It felt like it though, I bet.
Yeah. I don't know the actual, don't quote me on that.
I wonder how fast those things even can go. Because you're not going like hundreds of miles per hour, right?
No. Like my other buddy, the comedian pilot, he
probably what? Like
well, he's a lawyer too.
Like 40 miles per hour.
No,
not even that.
No,
fast?
he said he cruises at 150.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has a nicer, newer one. The one we were in with Sean was like
fucking taxi cab.
Dude, it was. Yeah, dude. There's like duct tape on it, and like, no, I'm kidding.
Okay. Jesus.
Yeah, no, but that was, I don't know how fast we went. I could text him and find out, but yes. And he now sends me videos all the time. Like he sets up his phone like on the dash of the plane
while he's cruising.
Yeah. And he'll do his landings and he'll do it in time lapse. It's pretty cool.
So you about to take off, him talking to the fucking air traffic controller. I could just see you just like almost wanting to say some dumb shit, or do you not have a little?
No, my microphone. So the way that it's set up is like you and I have headphones on right now, and we have microphones, like we can hear each other. Mm-hmm. And the reason they do that is because it's so loud.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like, so this is really nice. Just screaming as loud as you can the whole time. Yeah. But you've got the little microphone. I've actually got one of these on here, and I'm like, I don't know what's up, man. That's not turned on though. But anyways, so yeah, we would be able to talk to each other, but he can turn it on so that just his is heard by the air traffic controller.
Yeah, I guess he's saying some fucking dumb shit and fucking around and getting in trouble.
Yeah, I mean,
real quick. But no, I've been in a helicopter.
That's sketchier. Did it have an ejector seat?
Just for the pilot. But that shit was
called a trap door.
Bouncy. And it was pretty cool actually. Was in Hawaii, and I was on Oahu, flew to Maui for the day, and took a fucking helicopter ride over Jaws.
Nice.
But that wasn't the scary part. The scary part is when he was taking us over all these waterfalls and shit, and he did that fucking just drop right down and lost my stomach type of shit. But that was bouncy. I was not expecting. I didn't know what to expect. I've never been on a fucking helicopter before.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be that roller coastery type of a thing. But first and last time I've been in a helicopter, I have no desire to do it again, except I would do it to go snowboarding. That'd be fucking cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Just get dropped off like the top of a mountain somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heliboarding.
Let's go do it in fucking Colorado.
I mean, maybe I'd do it. I don't know, dude. I'm not going to go down like something steep. Like if it's cruising like in Powder, like, yeah, great, dude.
Yeah.
I'll charge that. I'm good for like one run. I pay like $800 for the helicopter for one run.
Well, we have a friend that lives there.
Okay.
He,
is he the one that I call Nitro?
Yes.
Probably. Yeah, I call him Nitro.
Yeah.
Ric Flair.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We should come up with fake names for all our friends, dude.
There we go.
That's all. So that's Ric Flair.
It is Ric
Flair.
Ric Flair.
The ravishing Ric Flair.
He's got 2 places now out there in Steamboat. One right at the bottom of the mountain. But he owes me a fucking flight.
Okay.
He said he was like, I'll pay for it if you want to come out. He even offered for Mason to cruise.
Dude, he'll be unavailable. Mm-mm. Oh, sorry, I got work.
No, he'll do it. Okay. I know it. I know he would do it.
I'd do it. I don't know if I'd do it with him, but I'd do it.
I would. I mean, he's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like in that sense, I love it. But so you did that, went up there.
By the way, I have my own helicopter story, so I understand what you're saying. I did a helicopter tour. Mm-hmm. When I worked in tech before, I had a business partner that was down in Panama. He owned a IT security business down there, networking business, whatever. And he came up with his wife, and they were at a convention, and I met him in Vegas, and we went on like a helicopter tour to Grand Canyon. And so the helicopter took off, and we're cruising over like the desert, at less than 100 feet, 50 feet maybe, cruising. And then all of a sudden we came out over the Grand Canyon. All of a sudden you go from 50 feet up to 3,000 feet up.
That's rad.
And then they took us down, all the way down to the bottom where the river is, where the Colorado River is. And then we did like a little boat tour down the river. And
that'd be kind of scary?
It was super sketch because there's like gnarly updrafts and stuff. And like, yeah, it was. And the temperature difference from the top to the bottom was like
20 degrees, 30 degrees.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah, because air in the canyon as opposed to above, that would scare me. I don't even want to put it in the universe, even though I've already done it. Fuck it.
Don't put it in the universe.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. It'll fucking happen anyway. I always feel like I'm gonna die in some type of a plane or helicopter crash, and this has been since we were teenagers, or drowning.
Wow.
I don't know fucking why. It's just
my older brother used to say that he had like I don't know if it was a recurring dream or what, but he believed that he was going to die in a plane crash when he was like 42.
Oh,
and then he made it to 42.
He's older now, everyone.
Yeah.
So we're good there.
And then my little brother, dude, this was a crazy story. My little brother and my mom and I were, I forgot we were flying. I know we were flying like into Chicago, I think what we were doing. And at the time my sister worked for American Airlines, and so my little brother and I ended up getting upgraded to first class, which was cool. But before we get on the plane, I guess the night before, my little brother had a dream that we were in a plane crash, and he remembered the flight number of the plane in the dream. And then when we got to the airport to check in, he saw the flight number, and it was the same one.
Fuck off.
That's what he said, dude. I mean, I don't know. But he was like, he's much more.
Shawnee wasn't like a little liar back. Like,
no, he was just afraid of everything.
Yeah.
He was just afraid of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, and I don't know how old he was, but he was pretty young, dude. I think I was in my early 20s, so he was probably in high school. But dude, we get on my mom and I are going back and forth, like, what do we do here? He's freaking out.
You're gonna go by yourself, Sean.
And we finally made the decision that we were just gonna go for it. We're like, if it's our time, it's our time. But no,
we'll go out together.
But we're flying it. So Sean and I ended up getting upgraded to first class, and we're sitting and my mom. We only had two of us got upgraded, but my mom was like, "No, you guys need to go in first class. You've never experienced that before, So we're sitting there, dude, and coming into Chicago, bro, the turbulence was so bad. It was probably the worst.
You were right.
It's the worst turbulence I've ever had, and he's white knuckling it, dude. Just the flight attendants are coming by, just like,
it's okay,
dude. Are you okay? He's just like, dude. It was so funny. I mean, it wasn't fun. I was worried too.
It was so funny. My brother's just thinking we're gonna
dude.
Die right now.
He's like, in the third grade, remember when you couldn't find your baseball bat? I took it and hit it. Yeah, dude, it was.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
It was one of those moments. But yeah, I mean, I don't like flying.
I fucking hate flying. And then so when we went to Cancun, right? All of you guys flew in a different plane, and I flew with Krista and Lindsay. And on our way back, going into, did we find a Houston or Dallas? Because we all went to the same airport. I remember that.
No, we flew through Mexico City.
No, because we all got stopped. We all remember there was like a fucking hurricane or some weird shit. Yeah, dude.
I don't know. I know that we flew through Mexico City.
That was on the way down.
On the way back, because we were coming back, and I remember I left because we were like all exhausted.
Yeah,
and I left the like terminal because I wanted to find a bathroom or food or something, and I went outside of the terminal, and I didn't bring my ticket or my passport or anything.
Idiot.
And I didn't speak any Spanish
back then. Yeah,
and I was trying to go back the way I came, and there was like a security guard guy there, and he's like, He's like trying to, and I'm like, no, me, no, Cancun, Mexico City, Los Angeles, you know. And the guy's like, and he just finally was like, dude, get the hell out of here, kind of thing. You know?
No way.
And he let me through, dude. I mean, but this was
Pre
9/11. This is 1996. It's like, you know, they let me bring a whole thing of box cutters on the plane. They didn't care.
Well, I thought it was hilarious. Getting into the country, you pushed a fucking button, and it was like green or red. That's
where the term green goes from.
Fuck off, dude.
Gringo.
You're good. But that's fucking what it was. It was, but you push the button, and mine was green, and that was getting there. Now coming back, completely different story. They searched through everything. I thought you guys went to Dallas with it, or wherever we landed, but we landed in a fucking hurricane, and our flight was delayed for like 5 hours or some shit. But anyway, leaving Cancun, we're taking off, and I'm in between Krista and Lindsay, and clearly our engines go down. It wasn't like,
that's awesome,
bro. You could hear everyone's like talking, it was just like a fucking plane, whatever. And it just like kind of like got weird. Everyone got really fucking quiet. And then we're gliding. Like the plane's rocking back and forth. So we know fucking something's weird. And they both, when the engine went down, they both grabbed me. And I'm sitting there trying to talk. I'm like, it's going to be cool. Like we're everything's all right. Like, it's just what they have to do.
No, bro, you blew it. That's where you go, the plane's going down. We're all going to die. But no, I've never had a threesome before.
That's just not going to happen. That's not going to happen, right? No, not those girls.
This is the only chance we're ever going to get.
But to make matters worse, I'm trying to calm them down, right? And 3 rows up, this guy hears me, and he looks over his shoulder at me, and he just shakes his head. He's like, fuck, no, it's not okay. Like, and they saw him, and they're like, Nick, we're going to fucking die. And before you know it, you hear the engine light up again.
Yeah.
Comes on, and the pilot tries to calm everyone down. Oh, if you look off to the left, it's this island and that island. Like, motherfucker, dude, everyone's scared shitless.
Yeah.
So that was terrifying, leaving Cancun, then landing in a fucking hurricane, to where when we came down, the wind was blowing so hard, we touched down, and then the nose went up and sideways to the right. And I mean, I'll never forget it. And the guy brought it back down so hard, it felt like we hit a fucking pothole. That was one of the most terrifying experiences.
Oh, that would be terrifying.
So I fucking hate landing, and I hate taking off. So I'm telling that story, and another scary story, flying to Vegas one time in a storm, to Jeremy's sister, who's a flight attendant.
Mm-hmm.
And she tells me these statistics of crashes or incidents, all this kind of shit. She's like, the scariest and most dangerous part of your flight is the first 10
it's
10 minutes.
It's the takeoff and the landing.
It's like, fucking, why are you telling me this shit, T? Like, damn it. I hate when we land, or when I land on the plane, my palms just, it's like I just washed my hands. It's fucking just starts.
Well, you're half Mexican, so do you cheer when you land too?
Fucking dick, dude.
Going to the Dominican Republic, I've flown in and out of there multiple times. I love Dominicans, dude. But dude, there's applause. And every Dominican, every plane I've ever been on going into the Dominican Republic, they cheer. And I'm like, are you cheering because like
you made it,
or you're cheering because you're back in like the homeland, like you're back and you're like, dude, we're gonna listen to some do a little bachata.
So you don't know why?
No, I think it's the same kind of thing. Is they're uneasy, they're uneasy with flying. They don't like flying, and it's, you made it. So it's like
a cultural thing or some shit? Like,
yeah, I think a lot of Latinos do it.
Okay, well then that's where
it's definitely not an American thing. Americans are like, yeah, no, this is supposed to happen. It's like you're cheering because you're like, well, you're cheering because like, was there like a really slim chance that you were gonna land?
Right? Yeah, I feel like it. I
don't know. Dude, you put yourself into more danger when you get into your car to drive to work.
Yeah, I hear that shit.
You put yourself into more danger with the women you choose to sleep with. Just kidding. Just a joke.
Really? Oh, now I'm like blushing on camera.
Dude, we were speaking of that joke that I just made.
Speaking of me,
speaking of me, just laughing at your expense. We were talking about this some of the other comedians the other day, and there's this female comedian, and I'm not gonna say her name. I don't know her very well. I just know her, as like, whatever, casually from,
Karen.
Yeah, going to open mics, whatever. Her name's not. Yeah, we'll just call her Karen. Fine. But dude, so it was funny because I made a joke to her one time. There was like a group of people. There's a place I do comedy in Oceanside, and we were like sitting in the side room, like kind of hanging out, and Alyssa was with me, and it was the first time she ever came with me to do anything. And we're sitting there talking, and the other female comedian was talking to some other people, and they were talking about condoms. And I just really quick, sometimes I throw out like quick, funny remarks, and I go, condoms are for pussies.
Get it?
right. And I'm like, dude, she's a pretty bright comedian.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and she was like, dude, it was like she got all like butthurt about it. And like Alyssa's like sitting on my lap, or right next to me or something. And she's like, when's the last time you had an STD? And I was like, dude,
never.
What? Yeah. And I was like, I don't remember. I don't know. And I was caught off guard. And then she was like, she pointed to Liz and she's like, you better just watch out, look who you're with. And I was like,
what the
bro?
Fuck?
Okay. Dude. And I didn't tell anybody else about that, but I was hanging out with a couple other comedians earlier this week, and we're sitting around, and one of them brought her up, and he was like, dude, I was standing there and she was talking to somebody else, and I was literally like 3 feet away from her, and she said something along the lines of like, oh yeah, don't worry about this guy, he's not even funny. And she was like, just out loud, like being like not cool.
Yeah.
Like not cool at all. And I was like, all right. And then I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, that was kind of lame, that one thing she did. And she's usually pretty nice to me, but I was just like, anyways, I don't want to talk shit on her because I really don't know her that well. She seems, but she did that. And I was like, dude, I made a joke, and I thought it was a pretty clever joke. Like,
dude, pun intended.
We're both, exactly. Yeah. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Condoms are for pussies.
Because they
literally.
Yeah.
Well, they should be. They should make them for pussies because I don't like putting them on, dude. They're either too big or
way too big.
Yeah, they're either like a little too big or way too big.
Oh my god,
dude,
that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that reminds me of a bit that I'm working on. We'll see if this goes anywhere, but so I thought about like in my comedy, I'm trying to figure out like how do I I think the most important part of your set is like the first minute to minute and a half, right?
Okay.
And that's like, especially, especially in the United States, I've heard this from European comedians too, is they're like, in America, most American audiences want to know who you are and what you're all about before they like kind of open up to you and laugh at your jokes, right? Because I don't know, maybe part of it is that like, we're always like, dude, who is like the cancel police watching, is this okay to laugh at? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also I think it's part of our culture is that like, you don't like, for one, I mean, obviously there's a lot of like, I personally think that the United States is maybe
the best country in the world.
No, I mean, I love the United States. Like we got our own problems, dude, but I've traveled to other countries, and I think that most other countries are more racist than us.
Okay.
Significantly. Right. And I think that we are very cognizant, at least, I mean, most reasonable Americans are cognizant of the fact that, dude, a big chunk of our history was, won off the backs of people that didn't get anything for it. Right. Africans that were brought over as slaves, Chinese that helped build the railroad. I mean, I think.
Okay, but what was your bit?
Whatever.
You're working.
Anyways, my point is that we as Americans, we need to know, like we want to know who the person is. And I think in comedy in general, the first minute is when you win people over, right? Is like if you can get them to laugh and express yourself and show your personality a little bit, so they know who you are and they know what you're all about, so they know like what they're supposed to be laughing at, I guess.
Okay.
And it's just knowing what's going on. And so like the bits that I've been working on the most right now are kind of my intros, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, how do I express who I am, what my sense of humor is? Because it's like, also, I mean, people that go to comedy, like, dude, comedians, anybody that's a comedian, any joke that I tell, they're gonna get it for the most part if they're a decent comedian, right? Doesn't matter how intelligent my joke is. Like the one I told to you, or the one that I opened with last night, I was like, yeah, I was gonna get up here and try to do try to pull off a trans bit, and I was like, but I know that as a white straight male comedian, I can get into a lot of trouble for trying to pull off trans bits. Apparently you got to be like a surgeon to do that. It's like, and they're hard to grab onto. You slide out of your hands, and I don't have the grip strength to pull off a trans bit. And that joke's dumb, right? But
Yes.
I was like, but sometimes I'll do that when I do open mics because I'm like, I want to see what the audience is like. But those kinds of jokes are probably better to like. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that joke also does express my sense of humor too. But
I think all of your jokes express your sense of humor, but it also gives you the idea what they're willing to, because if you what they're willing to laugh at. Because when you get people laughing at your jokes, it does expose or reveal part of their character and part of their personality, right? So that first 1 or 2 minutes is going to either make the crowd comfortable with you and you comfortable with the crowd, or not. So
yes,
I could see how the first couple of minutes are crucial.
Yes,
if not the most vital, and even the end of your bit, because you want to go out strong.
Yeah, they say that you want to do your second best joke first and your best joke last.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And I mean, whatever. That's what I've heard, but whether or not I gotta make sure this camera's just square on my face. Yeah. So, anyways, one of the bits that I've been working on, is like talking about my dick, right?
Poor little
and
guy.
this is
Poor
right.
little thingy.
This is how my brain works as I'm like working through jokes and material, and I'm like, I was like thinking about it. Like, one, I got up there and I was like, hey, look, like I do this intro where I talk about being white, right? That I did last night. I'm like, I talk about how white I am, and I do this thing like, I'm like, somebody asked me like, well, what kind of white are you? And I'm like, I'm kind of white that has like a dedicated pair of tennis shoes just to mow the lawn. Like, it's pretty white, right?
It's white as fuck.
And then I was thinking about it and I was like, I understand. Oh, that's cool.
You're
Thanks a lot.
fired.
Thanks a lot for ruining my
brother.
life. No, it's not. No, it was the clinic calling about my STD test. You passed. You're positive on every one. Got an A+.
Gross.
No, so this is how my brain works is I'm like, okay, so I understand, I recognize the concept of white privilege, right? I think people have different understandings of what white privilege is, but I understand that, like, dude, I think in America, being a white male, like, it's definitely a lot easier. I mean, and I don't think that privilege, like, there's different kinds of privilege too, but I understand that there is this thing called white privilege that's just for being white. You're typically
accepted.
Yeah, you're typically accepted. Yeah. You're typically not going to be racially profiled for shit.
Right.
Like, I get that, right? And but I'm a comedian, right? So I want to use that, and I want to look. One is, when you're talking to a group of people, like I'm not like in the KKK comedy club, like I'm not just like, oh, these are all white people. I want people that are of all ethnicities, all religions, everything to, feel like they can be comfortable around me, right? And but I also think that at the same time, like, I think that we should be able to make fun of everything or nothing.
Right.
I don't think there's any topics that should be off limits.
Including your dick.
Yes. So when it comes to my dick, I'm like, okay, I understand that I have white privilege, and everywhere that I go, I see that white privilege except for right here. Like, it's the only place that I don't feel white privilege. And then, and then I'm like, okay, well, how am I going to work this? And this is a very, very fresh new bit.
Rough draft.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I'm like, dude, like, well, what would I tell? Like, like if I were to describe my dick, like I'd be like, it's not like, it's definitely not big. I mean, it's not tiny. I'm not gonna be ashamed of it. Well, I mean, in prison I might be, but or like if I played basketball and I was in the shower, yeah, maybe. But I'm not like ashamed of it. But at the same time, I'm not putting that thing on display. Like, I'm not like I don't expect you to take pats on the back for it. I'm like, my dick's kind of like blue collar. It's like puts in a good, honest day's work. Like
sweats its ass.
Yeah, it's got like a 401k and a pension. Like. Like my dick likes to have a barbecue and a beer on the weekends. Like my dick's not gonna win any fucking competitions, but it's also not gonna be picked out of a crowd. It's like it just flies right under the radar. Like
you could.
Yeah, my dick's not gonna get picked up out of a lineup.
Oh my god.
That was the dick. That was it. And you're like, no, there's nothing offensive about that dick. Like that dick doesn't look like it committed any crimes. Yeah, that dick's like, yeah, I mean,
oh my god.
That's like your average, Joe dick. Yes. So anyways, that's what it reminded me of. But
nice.
Yeah. And then conversely, I'm like, now that I think about it, like I'm kind of jealous, of people that are well hung. And then I was like, dude, I started thinking about slavery. And I'm like, maybe that's why Black people were enslaved. Because they're like, dude, the white dudes sitting around with like fucking weird powdered wigs and shit. And they're just like, if we let any of these women folks see these massive cocks, our women will be gone forever.
Ever.
They'll never want to touch this. Maybe that's why they started bringing the Chinese over. They're like, and then
let's balance this out.
This is how fucked up my brain is. I'm like thinking,
when you're
like,
just processing this out right now verbally.
Yeah,
I fucking love it.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, well, then I think about like, okay, like Chinese, and obvious stereotypes, they have smaller dicks. And I'm like, dude, imagine like if the Chinese man with the biggest dick, bigger than anybody in China, like grew up in Africa, and he just has no idea. He has no idea how impressive his cock is back home. Just super unimpressive. And they're just like, you're a little dick China man, whatever. I don't know why I did that with like a fucking German accent, but yeah.
That was German?
I don't know what it was, dude.
I don't think it was.
I don't know.
Bro.
But yeah, that's how my brain works, bros. It's
your brain's all over the place. Like mine is all over the place. I'll be at work and I'll be talking about one thing and hop to something that has nothing to do with work. And people, my staff will just be like, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm sorry.
Titties.
Not like that. I don't talk like that at work. That will fucking get me fired.
Not like when you saw like a big fat dude, titties.
No, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. But no, so I wanted to, it's been a minute since when was the last time I saw you?
I don't know. A couple weeks, maybe.
Right. Yeah. Been like doing shit, and you've been bouncing around doing all kinds of stuff. Went out to Joshua Tree.
Yeah, we did go to Joshua.
That's rad.
Well, we were going to record last week, and you had a rough day last Friday. And you were just like, dude.
Not even. That's right. That was me.
No. That was the night I was going. That was Thursday. No, that was Wednesday. That was when I was going up to do the show in Flappers.
You're right.
Yeah, that was 2 days before that.
Yeah, I was not vibing that Wednesday. That week. That was last week.
And then you got stuck at work again on Friday, and so you were like, "I'm not gonna make it until like 4." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, we're leaving for Joshua Tree."
Yeah, last week was fucking brutal for everyone that I worked with. Like that, everyone. It was just a rough week. I don't want to fucking talk about it.
All right, let's not talk about.
Let's not talk about that one. But no, I was really jealous, and then made me think about Joshua Tree when we all went out
our
there.
trip,
dude. That was the best trip ever.
In 1996 or 97.
No, it was.
I want to say
it was not 96 because I was already living in Tahoe and I came home for that.
I wanted to say it was like the fall of 96.
No, because I was in Tahoe.
Or it was the spring or something of 97. Anyways, it was sometime in the middle part of the the last decade in the 20th century. But did you guys
go out there and camp, or did you get like a room?
No, she got us a 3-bedroom home. with a pool.
Oh, fuck you.
I'm not kidding.
Nice.
I was like, cool.
I'll do that. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in.
Like, yeah.
She's like, you want to invite any friends or anything? And I was like, no.
Why would you want to? No, ruin that. I mean, I'm great and all. I'm like, thank you, Alyssa, for even putting
Just her and Baxter and I.
But no.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool, dude.
Yeah.
We went out into Joshua Tree for a little bit on Saturday, and
was it hot?
It wasn't in the park. So we stayed in Landers. In the park, it was like, it was like high 80s. It was nice.
Yeah.
But in Landers, it was like right hovering around.
Try to go ride dirt bikes.
Yeah, it was right around 100.
Okay, what's that last highway that you take out there?
I don't know, dude. But you're talking about one that you break off the 10 from?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember the name of it.
There's a truck stop out there. It's like the last fucking gas station, little mini mart, whatever, and they got like a mom and pop diner that looks sketch.
Like Peggy Sue's or something like that.
Yeah,
kind of place.
It's gnarly, but they have
the
best fucking food and the hugest Philly cheesesteak fucking sandwich that I'm not exaggerating is probably 2 feet fucking long and a half a foot wide. And anyway, we stop there every time I go out that way. Stop there, gas up.
Nice.
And get a big old fucking sandwich or greasy, whatever.
Nice.
It's fucking rad.
I got to take this off really quick. Hold on.
What happened?
My hat is too tight. It's squeezing my head.
Your little peanut head. Where'd you get that Coors hat? That's fucking
gross
ass beer.
There we go. That's better. Oh my God, that's better, dude. I'm like,
they sell that at Lids?
Yeah. I'm like, why is my head
hurting?
I'm like, I can't even think straight.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking a lot about our trip to Joshua Tree, and it had to have been 97 or even like 98 because I know it was after I was living in
whatever.
Yeah, but fuck off. Yeah. So, did you guys go? I don't even remember exactly where we went when we went out there.
And we went into the park. We went to the place where you could camp. I mean, I don't know. Josh found the place,
right?
Okay, so we seriously though have to come up with names for everybody that we're mutually friends with.
Why?
Like Ric Flair.
Okay.
Because I think it would be funny to like challenge our other friends to figure out
who we're talking about.
Ooh.
Okay.
You know?
But do we do that right now?
Everybody's going to know who Ric Flair is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who started that? Because someone used to call him that.
I don't know.
In junior high.
Because, dude, he had a big old blonde mop, dude. Yeah.
So, dude, he used to like spray his fucking head with peroxide during the summertime. He had like a fucking bottle that he would take to the beach and fucking spray his fucking head. It's hilarious,
dude.
Fucking awesome.
I believe it.
But for those of you when we went out that are listening, we went out to Joshua Tree.
And if you're not listening, we're not talking to you.
Yeah, like fuck off. We went out to Joshua Tree in our late teens and had the most amazing. How many nights were we out there?
I don't know, dude. 2.
Right.
Probably. We were probably just out there for.
I know for sure 2, because the first night, Jones. That was the night that we took a picture.
Yeah. So all right. So let's just talk about this, okay?
Yeah.
So we. Look.
Three. Okay.
Yeah. I've always
three
been.
of my good buddies were it was 4 of you, because Chris was also working there. Chris went with us. You, Josh, Jeremy, and me.
Yeah.
All of you guys were working at the golf course, and had some supplies that you got from work.
Yeah.
And we brought it all out there.
We had a bunch of booze.
Yeah.
And probably a bunch of weed.
I brought a bunch of it.
Yeah. And then we went out there and we just camped out. We didn't even have tents or anything.
No, we slept outside.
We just slept like in sleeping bags on the ground.
On the ground.
Yeah. And I mean, look, dude, we were 19 probably.
At most.
And our buddy, the first one to fall asleep, and Jones fell asleep.
Dude, alcohol.
I'm pretty sure it was probably my idea.
It was.
And I mean, we took a picture, and it was one of those this was before digital too, so you had to like actually develop.
We had to wait.
Yes.
For that photo.
But so he was the first one to pass. I mean, we were just hitting it hard, dude. Just hitting the booze hard.
But he passed out at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, he passed out really early.
The fuck out. And we caught him in sleeping bag. And when he was sleeping, though, it was kind of fucking funny. Not kind of, it was hilarious because he fell asleep with a smile on his face.
Dude.
He had like a little
Because he probably
Half
just
grin.
rubbed one out, dude. And that's why he fell asleep. Like, the second he nutted, he's all like,
I'm good.
And I'm sure it was my idea, but I pulled down my pants and bare butt, just far enough for my bare butt to be exposed.
No, it was like,
and like crouched down right over his face. And I mean, I'm pretty sure my butt cheek might have like touched his skin a little bit, but he kind of like came to for a second, and he like didn't know what it was. He was asleep, and he like did one of these, and he just racked me right in the nuts.
Nutsack.
Just right in the nuts.
It was awesome.
Yeah. And then we got the picture, and then, you know, for his birthday's on Christmas Day. So
we waited months.
Yeah.
Months. Because was that March or May?
I don't know, dude. It doesn't matter.
It was an M month.
Doesn't matter.
Got the picture developed, turned it into a t-shirt, and waited for Christmas to give him that. And then he tried hiding it. I remember because like
he was so
bro, that party was big. There was like 100 people at his fucking house,
bummed.
and he was pissed.
He was so bummed,
pissed off. I went and found that fucking shirt.
I think
he hid
he's
it in his
still
room.
Mad about it.
Probably. He hid it. He hid it in his room, and I went and found it, and I fucking wore it the rest of the party.
That's rad.
Like, fuck you.
That's rad.
Yeah.
That's
and we have so many embarrassing stories.
Dude.
Oh my god. I'm not going to tell the one that I'm thinking of next, but that was the birthday before. The birthday before was even worse for him than the picture.
I don't remember.
I don't think you were there.
I don't know where I was, but
he was naked.
I did hear that story. I didn't see him. I did hear that story.
He pulled a fucking Will Ferrell type of shit, dude.
Just walked out, bucked.
Just fucking, what's up, guys?
Dude.
Fucking, and I don't think he remembers that part, which is great.
He probably doesn't.
Yeah, which is fucking great.
I'm sure that's a long list of things he doesn't remember.
No kidding. We should all go back out there.
Yeah.
And have like a little reunion. Again, I will not be I said as inebriated. I'm not going to drink at all. Yeah.
Unless Tom Segura shows up.
That'd be fucking rad.
Well, maybe I can become known enough as a comedian to make that happen. We'll see.
No, I wouldn't. In all seriousness, with my sobriety,
I wouldn't even want to hang out with you.
I know.
Oh my gosh, dude.
The only time I see myself drinking or doing anything like that is like if I'm like in my fucking late 70s and we'll maybe figure it out. But not anytime soon. What's happening on your phone? Who's? Oh,
she just texted me to say she got home, dude. There was so much traffic going down Oceanside.
Yeah. You can't leave here anymore. And it doesn't matter what fucking day of the week is anymore.
No, it's Friday. Friday's bad. No, because people go down to San Diego to go to the beach, or people go
every fucking day of the week. My family lives down there. My sisters live down there.
What time?
I leave here. Okay, anytime my family plans something, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, I leave here no later than fucking 9 o'clock because
PM,
AM.
Oh yeah, but
9 a.m. After that, 12 o'clock on a Wednesday is taking you an hour and a half to get out there.
I think there was an accident. Problem is that there's no, if you're on that freeway
after Christianitos, you're fucked.
Yeah, well, not Christianitos. It's the San Onofre.
That's Christianitos.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, that's
the last one.
Anyways, no, it's the one that you can go to base on.
That's Christianitos. Oh, he's gonna pull out the fucking phone, everyone. Look at this.
I mean, dude, you're probably right, but I just want to, make you feel good about yourself.
Mm-hmm. I'm good enough to make me feel good about myself.
That's the one where Trestles is. And no, there's one more.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is. It's the San Onofre Park one. It's Barcelona.
Boom! Damn it. Whew. I suck.
I'm right for one.
I fucking suck.
Yeah. And I know because Christianitos, you can get into San Clemente from Christianitos.
You're right. In Barcelona.
That Christianitos is the one right where the Carl's Jr. is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Like where the Rip Curl like store is or whatever.
That's still there.
Yeah. Wow. There's 2 Rip Curl stores. There's like the main one right down
like the outlet.
Yeah. The little like super low key.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Good times. What am I talking about, dude? In my comedy. Let's talk about me all the time. Just me.
All you. I got a weird question because like now you're dating, and I not to like put this in your head or anything.
Yeah, I have to turn down so many chicks now that I'm.
I don't think that was your problem. But now what? Because I was having this conversation with a buddy the other day, and it was like, because I have kids and I was with Tara for like 8 years and I was fucking single and then I was in another relationship for X amount of years. And they're like, "Are you ever going to get married?" And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't really.
Are you really going to ask me this question right now?
No. I'm not like you. Not you.
Okay.
But I'm just like marriage in general. So our conversation just turned into the topic of marriage. And I was just like, well, I feel like I've been married twice. I've been in a relationship for 8 years. What the fuck was that? Oh,
sorry.
For like 2 years.
Or 2 times. It's my fidget toy.
2 times 8 years. And it's just like the way I see marriage is
gay.
Yeah, well, pretty much. Like the invention of it, if you want to call it an invention, wasn't because people loved one another. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was more practicality.
No,
right?
It was all about like creating, a legion with someone.
Well, it depends if you're rights. A noble or a peasant.
But that's how it was for fucking ever, dude. Like going back to like 2300 BC.
But that's why we have all of these like, typical roles for men and women, right? And there's a man and a woman, and man does this, woman does that, like, because it's more of like just practicality.
Yeah. So for thousands of years, people getting married, not love at all. It was like survival or like how to come up on whatever, like, heirs to this and blah, blah, blah. So it was like a business contract, right? Women not allowed to cheat on the men. Men could cheat on fucking women all the time that they wanted. It didn't even happen. So I like looked this up.
God, those were better times.
Great times. We were born in the wrong era, let me tell you. But no, people didn't even start getting married for love until like the fucking 17th or 18th century. Okay, that's
I'm pretty sure people fell in love before that.
Well, okay.
There's a lot of stories.
According to the internet and all that kind of shit.
There's a lot of stories of love in like Pompeii and ancient Rome, and dude, I'm sure there's been love like that's
like once.
Yeah, I'm sure there has been, dude. I mean, look, I don't know. It's whatever. Love's gay. No,
it's great.
But
but it never lasted long. All right. So like, if we're going off of what I fucking looked up and went down a rabbit hole, because this conversation kind of that's when my mind wouldn't fucking stop. And there's like 17th, 18th century.
You just think about love all the time.
No, now
I wish
I was in love. But people didn't start getting married for love until the 17th and 18th century, which was again a long fucking time ago. And then I was like, life expectancy was only like 30 to 40 years of age.
Yeah, that's why people are getting married when they're like 12,
yeah.
dude.
So
like a 40-year-old who's going to live for 5 more years.
It's not that fucking long.
Yeah.
Now we're living, average age is what, like 70s or some shit? Probably 75, 80.
Yeah, it's, like maybe 78, maybe.
Yeah. So that's like
77.
3 marriages.
Yeah.
That's the way I don't know. It'd just be fucking weird to.
I think that also like, well, I think we live in an era where everything is marketed to us.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of what people consider as love or what they recognize as love is what has been marketed to them through
conditioned.
Yeah. Through advertising, through movies, stuff like that. I don't know. I think about that a lot actually, because I'm like, I pretty much have been single for like 5 years. I dated girls, for a brief amount of time, but it's funny because once I was jumping from like one relationship to the next kind of thing, and if it didn't work out, it was like, oh my God, is there something wrong with me?
Yes.
Right. Well, yeah, there's always something wrong with all of us. Just a lot more wrong with me, but, and I got my dog, dude. I rescued Baxter. I was like, dude, I'm good. I love this dude. Like I had the companionship and I'm like, I love this little guy. And now I changed, since I got him, I changed my attitude towards it. I was like, I don't want to be with somebody unless A, they love this dude just as much as I do. And B, they're making our life better, not giving me more shit to worry about kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this has been so far. So we'll see. It's been pretty rad.
I think that everyone chooses someone to be in their life, a significant other too. It's not like to like, and I understand what you're saying, like make things better, but it's just like to add to that already better that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just,
way to make this
Fucking go weird.
podcast like so lame.
No, well, it's just fucking weird that we're just taught to like, oh, you know, at this age you got to get married. If you're gonna start having kids, you got to start having kids at this age. And it's just fucking funny to me. Weird, like,
Yeah, I mean, well,
you know,
that's another thing though. Is like I was thinking about this too. Is like, you know, the people that are wealthy are not the ones having a lot of kids. It's the
lower class.
It's the lowest class of people.
Yep.
And not to say they're, you know, bad or anything like that. I'm just saying like socioeconomically speaking. And they're the ones having the most kids. And so those populations are growing. Whereas the wealthiest class is shrinking, and that wealth is being confined to less and less like hands, essentially. Right. So you have more wealth going into fewer hands, and like more population just fighting over scraps. And it's like, dude, it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We were talking about this on our drive up to San Luis Obispo just last night. And it's like, dude, I don't see any, like, I see like all of the movies and everything that we see of like the apocalyptic,
hippopotamus,
eucalyptus, all the apocalyptic, you know, like, you know, postmodern, you know, shit, like, you know, the future where like, you know, you've got the elite that are like, you know, like Hunger Games kind of stuff, you know, and everybody else is separated. And it's just like, that is going to happen. It's happening.
I think it's already happened. Just not on that fucking crazy.
And then we started talking about AI, right? AI, like when you like, I don't know. I don't think the average person, like I started using AI years ago to help with my marketing of like, you know, different businesses and stuff like that. And I mean, I knew about AI when I worked in technology, and, you know, I use it today still to do all sorts of things. Right. You know? But I was thinking about this on the ride home today. Is like, AI is going to take like 90% of the jobs.
It already has.
Nah, not yet. It's getting close. It's getting close. But think about this for a second, right? Like, let's say you and I are making a podcast, right? What do we spend most of the time doing on this podcast?
Talking.
No.
Looking shit up.
No.
What?
In terms of the podcast and producing it, what's the thing that takes the longest time?
Oh, editing
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. AI is not, I mean, maybe some of the more expensive, like access to AI that, you know, are still being developed or whatever that I don't know about yet or I don't have access to. But like, you know, dude, AI is going to be like your personal assistant for everything. Where, and I use it for that today, dude. Like if I'm writing jokes, I'm like, hey, you know, like, hey, give me, like, for example, I'm working on this bit and I'm like, instead of Googling something and having to look through all of the answers, I'm like, hey, ChatGPT, like, you know, what percentage of people named Scott in the United States are white
or Mexican?
You know, and it's like, okay, well, that's 65% of Scots is white. You know what I mean? But like that kind of, but it's still young. It's growing fast and it's getting smart fast. Within the next 5 years, I mean, you think about everybody that like editing this podcast, there's already some AI aspects of like pulling out shorts and things like that, but
it's shitty.
But it is shitty. It is shitty. I mean, I'm sure there's more complex models that I've not used that are better at it. But it's going to get to the point where it's literally you're having a conversation and you're like, hey, we're going to input into, and you can already do this stuff, but we're going to input into you, like, here's what we want for this, you know, and the AI is going to be smart enough to be like asking questions to get more information, just like a normal assistant would do.
Yeah. I mean, there's this part of AI that they're using at my work, right? Or the industry that I work in. It's kind of controversial over how ethical it is to do. I don't agree with it in my field, but I could see how it's useful, and you know, it's making it more time effective on getting things done for editing. Yeah, I get that. But as far as like the jobs that it's gonna take away and has
So
already
many.
taken away. It's fucking. I don't know. I'm not a fan of technology, as you already know. And it's just gonna get worse.
It will, and I mean, just you think about robots. Somebody said this on a podcast I was watching the other day, and it was about Elon Musk and all of his businesses. And it's like, okay, this dude wants to go to Mars, right? He started SpaceX, right? The rocket ship company, because he wants to, he wants humans to be interplanetary, right?
But we can't be. Isn't there
Okay,
like some radiation belt that's in the fucking way or something that they talk about, right? All right. Anyway, sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a scientist by any means, but just this is
You aren't?
that's besides the point. Is he started this company, SpaceX, to build rockets to make it to Mars, right? Because he wants to be interplanetary, right? So to be able to go to Mars, the other things that he's done is he started this other company to make these robots, right? Because before humans get there, you're going to need some sort of, you need to have bases. You need to have all these things that are established already before humans can survive, and so he's making these robots
that are going to build shit.
Yes.
No way. I don't trust it.
Fine.
I mean,
whether you trust or not, again,
I don't trust them getting the job done the right way. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, they're gonna be, bro. Let me finish this thought, and then I'll address that question. But he did that. So he started a robot company because you got to establish it. You got to establish a base and stuff like that for humans to actually be able to survive there.
Yeah.
Whereas a robot can get out and can have solar panels on it, and it can survive whether there's radiation or not. You know what I mean? And then he started, Tesla. Well, Tesla makes electric vehicles, right? And so now you got these electric vehicles that you're going to need. You can't have like combustion vehicles.
No.
Right. So you got to have electric vehicles because they got to run off the sun, and he's got an AI that he's building, it's called Grok. Anyways, he's done all these things. It's like all of these different companies go in perfectly together to be able to establish like
presence on
Mars. On other planets. Okay. Right. Okay. So back to your other comment about AI. Like, here's the thing is I'm going to ask this in real time. Hey Siri, how long will it take before artificial intelligence is smarter than the smartest human on earth?
Already happens.
It's speaking. Oh, hold on. Let me do this again. That was dumb, dude. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. Let's see. We'll do
Siri's like, fuck off. I know you're recording me.
Oops. No, we're going to stop this. All right. Let's go to, I have a project that's called Random Questions on here.
That's your life, bro.
How long will it be before artificial intelligence is smarter than the smartest human being on earth?
That's a pretty big question. A lot of experts think that AI could reach that level of intelligence, sometimes called artificial general intelligence, within a few decades. There's still a lot of debate and uncertainty around it, so it's kind of a wait and see situation.
A couple of decades.
Bro, that conversation did not sound like you're talking to, like that wasn't Stephen Hawking,
right.
Like, it depends because we really don't understand. Dude,
it sounded like a human. Now what? What happened?
I was just looking at my history and it says slimy poop blood causes.
What the fuck?
Oh, that was for Baxter. He was
sure. Baxter's you're the one sitting weird.
Yes. But so AI is going to take over, like,
too much.
Not take over. I mean, there are people that are having these debates today about how do you keep it under control. Like even the AI.
It's too late.
The AI that it's Twitter. It's X now. X is the name of the company that Twitter became. I read about how that AI, like you'll ask it questions if you post stuff on X, Twitter, whatever, and apparently the previous version was like super pro Hitler. It was just like talking about how awesome Hitler was.
Oh my God.
And they were like, sorry about that. We need to fix that.
That's fucking.
And then there's other situations where they've told AI, they've tried to turn off an AI model, and the AI tried to go around its own programming to keep itself from.
That's like
off.
Matrix shit. That's fucking.
I mean,
scary.
it's. bro, it's happening right now. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
You know,
Say
I
something
mean,
funny,
there's a
'cause
lot
this
of
is getting way too serious. For
there's
me.
a lot of other more intelligent people than you or I that can talk better about that concept. So.
Talk better. You're right.
Speak better.
There we go.
Yeah, me like talk better. Maybe not funnier, but more intelligent. But that's not. If anybody's listening to this, which there's really not that many people listening to it right now, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about something more interesting.
More interesting. Well, you brought up something. You brought up something
that was just in 1 hour just now.
That's a lot of time. But you said you were going to bring up something in your living room. I don't know if you wanted to talk about that. I don't know if you were like joking or not.
I don't remember what I was talking about.
It rhymes with Epstein. You're like, so they're like saying some shit about him, and I don't know. I was like, I don't even pay attention to that.
No, we were talking about the conspiracy theories that the Mossad, which is like the CIA, it's like the secret, whatever the CIA for.
So they got like shit on everyone
for Israel, and how there's the theories that the Mossad was basically handling Jeffrey Epstein, and he was getting his funding from them, and his job was to set up basically this pedophile ring to get blackmail information or blackmail stuff for Israel. For the wealthiest people in the world. I mean, on the wealthiest people in the world.
Gotcha.
Like royalty and I mean, and that's what's so funny, dude. Is I don't know if you heard any of Shane Gillis's ESPY award.
I just
stuff.
like that's all that's just been popping up lately.
He's reading. Yeah, well, dude, he did.
Bro, I want to watch the whole ESPYs.
Bro, dude, some of his jokes, bro. One of them was like, he was talking about the WNBA, and he's like, "Hey, Brittany Hicks, 4-time WNBA All-Star, is here. Give it up for her." And everybody starts applauding. And he looks around and he goes, "Dude, she's none of the WNBA. That's my best friend's wife, dude. I know none of you knew any WNBA stars." He's like, "I can't believe you guys applauded at that."
Are you fucking serious?
Yes.
That is awesome.
Bro. Yes.
That's my buddy's wife.
And yes. And the camera went on her and everything, dude. Bro. And his buddy Matt McCusker, who's also a comedian, was sitting next to his wife too, and he's just laughing.
Dude.
He's like, "I can't believe you got away with that, dude." And like some of his jokes, dude, he was talking about Bill Belichick.
Okay.
And how Bill Belichick
had dating some like youngin or something.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, Bill Belichick, he's I don't know, he's 70 something, and he's like, he's got a 24-year-old wife," and he's like,
"Is that true?"
Or not a wife, his girlfriend. He's dating, whatever.
She's in her 20s.
Yes. And Shane's like, "The guy's won 6 Super Bowls. Like, what happened to this country? Like, maybe if you won 6 Super Bowls, you wouldn't be sitting next to your pig-faced wife right now."
Oh my God.
He was great. And then he did.
He's never going to be asked to do any of that type of shit again.
I don't know, dude. I mean, look, I think
crazy.
I think the pendulum is swinging. The fact that on ESPN, which has been like one of the most woke entities, and it's owned by Disney, it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, we were talking about that earlier. Like, maybe the person who approved all that stuff, like, knew they were going to get fired or whatever, or they knew they're on the way out.
My last hurrah.
Yeah.
Do this.
I don't know. And Shane was also like, "Hey, they approved this," because he was up on the teleprompter and everything.
He's reading the shit.
Yeah. And then he's like reading jokes off, and he's like, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke in here, but I don't know. Like, I guess it got deleted. I don't know. Or maybe it deleted itself. Yeah. He's like, "I don't know. Maybe we should just forget about that and move on as a country." Like, dude. Yeah, that was good. And then there's another one he did. He did a tribute to Norm Macdonald.
Nice.
And so when Norm Macdonald hosted the ESPYs.
What?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Oh, I don't know.
Decades ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It was when Charles Woodson won the Heisman Trophy.
That's a long time.
Yes. So, 20 years ago probably.
Yeah.
So Charles Woodson is sitting there, and Norm Macdonald did the same joke. Well, the Heisman Trophy winner was Travis Hunter for Colorado State.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is it Colorado State or Colorado? I don't remember. It's the Buffaloes. anyways, the one that Shedeur Sanders was a quarterback for, same team that Deion Sanders is the coach for.
I think it's just Colorado.
Yeah, dude, I just made myself look like not a sports guy. Like,
because you're not.
Yeah, I'm not a big college football guy, but he won the Heisman, and he was defense and offense.
Okay.
He was a wide receiver and a defensive back. But Shane did the same joke that Norm did to Charles Woodson. And he said, hey, Travis Hunter, the first defensive player since Charles Woodson, to win the Heisman Trophy. And he's like, hey, man, nobody can take that away from you. I mean, unless you kill your wife in a waiter, then they can take it away from you.
What?
Because that's what happened to OJ.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there was a lot of people that were just like,
could you imagine being in that fucking crowd?
Dude, it's funny because they were showing people's faces, and some people are just like, and I'm like,
I can't laugh at this.
Like, you know what, dude? Like, I think the world more than anything else right now needs more of that. We need more comedy, dude. Like, we need to stop taking ourselves so fucking seriously.
Yes, I agree with it. I agree with that. And it just shows like the balls to actually like talk about what's really happening, but people are supposed to be hush hush about it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what's worse? Me making fucking a joke of something that is serious, right? I make a joke about it, or let's not talk about it at all.
Yeah, well, no, that's the whole point. And
yeah.
I think I had this conversation with a pretty liberal friend of mine where she was talking about how she didn't like Matt Rife because Matt Rife made some joke about, domestic violence.
Okay.
And I tried to explain to her, and I was like, I don't think Matt Rife thinks domestic violence is funny.
No.
I don't think anybody. Some
people do.
I mean, yeah, most of them are like part of the Taliban, but they also think that fucking sheep is
cool,
sexy.
Yeah.
But I don't think that somebody like Matt Rife thinks that's funny. And my point was, I think the role that comedy plays in society is that there's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about. There's taboo subjects that we don't want to talk about, and comedy is a platform to talk about those things in a way where it's at least talked about, because you can make light of it or you can make a joke of it. And it's like, we're not making fun of, I don't think it's funny that a woman is suffering from, domestic violence. I don't think that's funny at all. What I think that what is funny about the jokes is that we're really saying that's not funny, but we're making fun of how ridiculous it is that still that happens.
Yeah.
Like, that's asinine. It's stupid that, anybody is beating their wife or whatever. But if I was going to make a joke about domestic violence, I would make a joke about a woman fucking kicking my ass.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what I mean?
That's
like, and a little one, with no arms, dude. Like, oh, she's literally just kicking it. That's all she can do. She's kicking it. Right.
Right. But I think that when I first saw that he was, hosting the ESPYs or whatever, and it was in some shit on Instagram.
Like,
no, I thought it was a joke. I didn't realize that actually happened because I don't watch fucking TV. I just don't. I hardly ever watch TV. When I even look at my TV, I'm watching some documentary or some fucking weird shit.
Like one of those documentaries on Pornhub?
No.
I love those.
I don't, those 20-minute ones. Yeah, they're great. But no, I do. I watch like a fucking documentary or some shit, and that's about it. So I didn't know that was actually a thing. And then someone, I think it was at work, like, sent me a joke about how it was more of his lighthearted jokes just about sports. And he's just like, all the good teams are here tonight. We're representing all the good teams. He's like, Dallas Cowboys. He's like, and he doesn't say fuck that or anything. He's like, actually, no, they're trash. They're really not good. And he's like talking smack on them. But I only saw that. So when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, this actually happened.
Oh yeah.
And then my head went, what?
Oh no!
Say, like, oh my god! You give that dude a platform on the ESPYs, like he is gonna just run like you're fucked.
His joke,
if you're in that crowd, you're fucked.
Dude, his joke about Bill Belichick also was like, I forgot how he framed it, but it was something along the lines of like how Bill Belichick is like, he reads like stories to his girlfriend. He's like the little engine that could, but needed a pill first.
How many jokes did he say about him? Because I saw another one where he's like,
he had multiple Bill Belichick.
Because he was talking, what was it? Yeah, I think he went into the Bill Belichick after doing an Ohtani joke about like, oh, he does this and does that. He's like, he's a great bookie too. And he's like, and a bookie is what Bill Belichick reads to his girlfriend at
a little
night.
book.
A
bookie.
Like, I read a little bookie to my fucking girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
fuck, dude.
That's how it was. It was pretty good, man.
That's just,
it was so good.
That's fucking crazy because that's not just a regular. I don't want to say regular, but That is a controversial comedian that you put on a grand stand.
But here's the thing: is he's not in his normal stand up. He's not that controversial. His humor when he does his stand up, I mean, at least what I've seen, is really more like it's more playful. You know, this was
pretty raunchy, dude.
Yeah, but he's not like, I don't know, dude. This was more controversial than anything I've ever seen him do, and I was stoked.
Well, I think he's been building up to that because now he's got his second season for his Netflix show.
He's kind of made it.
He's on Kill Tony all the time. So like now it's like I can get away with a little bit more.
Yeah.
And now they're letting me be on fucking TV.
Yeah. Well, that's like when you look at some of these like talking heads on like news platforms like Tucker Carlson, for example. You know, Tucker got to the point where he was so popular that he didn't really care. He could leave Fox and he started his own platform and he already had, a ton of fans. Like that's the point, is you kind of write your own ticket once you get to that point.
Yeah.
You know, and
too many people like you as opposed to who don't.
Yeah. But I think that like when it comes to comedy, this is been my opinion, is that we need comedy to talk about those things. And I was looking at the audience during the ESPYs and like the people's reactions, and I was like, dude, fucking get over it.
Mm-hmm.
The average American does not feel the same way as these fucking elites that are great athletes or they're rich or whatever, that are in the limelight. It's like the average American
can't relate to you.
No, not at all, dude. And you're sitting on your fucking ivory towers and you're like, oh, we got to do. And I'm like, shut up, dude. That's like when you remember Melissa, was it Alyssa or Melissa Milano, the one that was in Who's the Boss? Mm-hmm. When the whole like calling Elon Musk a Nazi and how she got rid of her Tesla because Elon Musk was a Nazi. She posted a tweet about that, and she's like, I got rid of my Tesla and got a VW instead. I was like, do you realize that VW was started by the Nazis? Like, how retarded are you? Yes, I said retarded, and I'm not.
Not sorry.
Yes, I'm not.
Oh my God,
I'm not, dude. Even people with handicaps and disabilities would be like, that's retarded.
You're a fucking idiot,
dude.
She did that.
Yes.
See, again, I don't watch fucking TV or
yes, but like that's the thing about comedy, dude. Is society needs it. Mm-hmm. Society needs it, and people need to relax, dude.
I'm not gonna have a Tesla, but I'm gonna have a.
Yeah, I got rid of my Tesla to get a VW, and it's like, dude, are you? Oh my God, that is stupid.
That's
like,
right.
But that's where I'm struggling right now. Not struggling, but I've got up and I've said some pretty questionable things on stage.
You have, and I think it's needed.
But also, like, somebody like Shane Gillis, he has the luxury to be able to do that right now because he already knows his audience, and his audience is like all about
They're not going anywhere.
And now his audience, his base, he's basically like, Trump got way gnarlier, like when he went for president, when he won the presidency, dude. Yeah. He got even worse, he doubled down because he's all, oh, hell yeah. It's like, it's like empowering. But for me, I'm like, dude, I don't want to say stuff that's going to like, shame my family.
Yes.
I've worried a lot about that. And then I was like, but who cares? I'm doing comedy. I'm not up there, saying some opinion that I have about something just because I want people to believe my opinion.
Yeah, you're not up there going, listen to me right now because this is where I stand on this topic. Yeah.
No, I did. I mean, on that whole thing about getting rid of a Tesla to get a VW, that's idiotic, I mean, any car company for that matter, because pretty much all of the car companies are, probably Nazis, whatever.
Probably.
Nazis. I mean, look, it's just a joke, but no, dude, I don't want to like. I mean, one, I don't want to, offend not that I don't want to offend family members.
I think
because I would do all these jokes in front of my family,
right?
I would, but
mom would be cringing.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm kind of like, well, when people ask my mom, well, what do your sons do? And she's like, skips over me. Well, don't you have another one? Yeah. What does he do? Well, I don't really know, actually. Yeah. But
it'd be great when you're famous shit. Someone's gonna run into your mom. Why didn't you breastfeed Scott? She's like, what the fuck?
Well, so Anthony Jeselnik talks about that a lot. Where he's like, dude, people stop my mom on the street or something and ask it, and she's like, no, dude, it's a bit.
It's a bit.
It's a bit. Like
none of that shit.
None of it's real. And so a lot of my I do a joke about impregnating an elderly Dominican lady on my Mormon mission.
Do that?
you know, like, like that's a funny concept, but no, and I think it's funny.
Brutal as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and can you imagine if people did think that you're telling the truth in some of your jokes?
Some people probably do, dude.
That's fucking crazy.
But those are not the people that I'm talking to.
No.
Like
No.
whatever. But going back to this concept of like, dude, these taboo subjects, and I'm like, you know what, dude, we got like we've gone away from. I think this like progressive movement, without getting too political, I think being progressive and like, giving women the right to vote and like, the feminist movement to, a certain degree is like, you get to a point where all of these groups have been advocating for equal rights, right, under the law. And once they get them, well, what happens? Those entities still exist. They still want money. They still, I mean, there's people that work for them. There's people that employ, they have money. And so it's like, well, what do they do? They have to, like, that's the crazy part is like, it's like a double-edged sword, because on one side you have like, hey, we need these kinds of groups, entities, whatever, to advocate for, the people that can't necessarily speak up for themselves or fight for themselves. We need that. We need people to help and fight for the, the oppressed. But what happens when the oppressed under the law are treated equally? And I mean, some people would argue that that's not the case. And I'm not making that argument. But what I'm saying is like, I think that in certain cases that has swinged past that point where it's like, well, now we kind of have to invent things to advocate for. We kind of are like inventing things, or coming up with these philosophies to make people feel like they're victims when they may be, or they might not be, whatever. But like, and again, I know there's a lot of people that be like, dude, you're a straight white male. You don't understand.
You don't get to say that.
And I'm like, well, I don't know. I would argue to say that most straight white males think the same as me.
It's not just that. I think you're pretty open-minded about anyone's opinion too. So I don't think you're coming in with a narrow focused agenda.
No. Like if somebody had the exact opposite opinion of me sitting right here, I wouldn't be like, you're an idiot. I would be like, I want to understand your perspective, because I also understand that perspective is like the one thing that most people are lacking, is the ability to see things from somebody else's point of view. And I recognize that I don't have the right perspective on everything.
Right.
It's a limited perspective. I try to, and I listen. And if somebody tells me and explains it to me and it still doesn't make sense to me, or I just don't buy into it, like I'll respectfully be like, hey, I mean, we still disagree. I get where you're, where you say you're coming from, but I don't necessarily agree with that because of these things, and we can agree to disagree. And I think that's one of the biggest.
How many people that when you get into conversations like that are not able to agree to disagree?
Tons.
Tons. I run into that issue or problem more than like, just like, okay, look, I'm not fighting you. I'm not telling you you're wrong at all. I understand where you're coming from because we had a conversation, but now at the end of our conversation, you're not getting the result that you wanted. Like, I don't care if you agree with me or not. This is where I'm coming from and reasons why. Now I understand where you're coming from because of your reasons why. We just don't agree.
Yeah.
Because there's like some things when and I don't want to get too political about stuff, but like, I'll just say those groups and agendas. There are certain groups that have some agendas that I understand and agree with parts of it, not all of it. It doesn't mean that it's okay in my eyes. I'm not saying that it isn't okay. I'm just saying it isn't okay in my eyes. And that upsets more people than if I just didn't try. I get frustrated, I guess, when it comes to, I don't want to go down any more fucking.
Well, I feel like from a comedic standpoint, I am slowly getting more like emboldened a little bit, because I'm also like, you know what? Like, one, I think about this all the time, dude. Like, I look out into the audience and I can see people that are not vibing with what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
I can see the looks on their face.
Body language is,
and if they're not laughing and they're like, I mean, I did an open mic on Monday and there was these two chicks sitting up front, and one was another comedian, and she was just RBF, dude, just not stoked on stuff. And I talked to her afterwards and she seemed nice, but like, people feel like it's like, oh, we need to be we need to be careful around these delicate people.
That's one of the problems.
And I think that's a wrong approach to it, because my opinion is, as somebody who had a lot of, and not like gnarly, crazy, well, no, not a significant amount of trauma.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you know, like I did a joke about how, you know, I think that people who get offended over people calling them the wrong pronouns, that they never had an older brother.
Ever.
You know, and I'm like, dude, once you've been hogtied, you know, and let go, like the second mom pulled into the driveway and you couldn't say anything to her because if you did, it would have been worse the next time.
Yep.
Like, dude, I mean, like literally living with your abuser and just having to deal with it and try to survive, you know, because he's 3 years older than you and he also is valedictorian and, you know, I was friends with everybody. But I will say this is nobody else ever kicked my ass.
No, and he'd fuck him up
just
too.
him. Yes. Yeah. But so like that's like, I don't think that like, I have this, I believe that like the world would be a better place and most of the problems in the world would be fixed if people could learn to laugh at themselves. And I think it goes deeper than that. And I think that to be able to laugh at yourself, you have to be able to first be honest with yourself. And then once you're honest with yourself, you're like, oh, I'm kind of fucked up. You know,
that's okay.
Yes. And that's okay because we all are. We're all a product of an environment and imperfect people.
Yes.
You know, and so, and that's what I learned through therapy was like, that was like one of the first things I learned was, dude, this isn't your fault.
Yeah.
But it's your responsibility.
Now it is.
Yes. And for me, you know me, dude, is like, I will never get mad at you if you call me out on something.
You'll laugh at it. That happens more often than not, dude.
Yes. But I'm also like, yeah, you're right. Like, that's the thing, dude, is like, and I think that's part of what endears people to me is that they know that I'm honest about who I am.
Yes.
You know, and people don't ever wonder like, well, what am I going to get with Scott? And I think most
You're
people,
like, just get ready.
Yeah,
you haven't met my buddy yet.
Yeah. I had a buddy tell me on 4th of July, he's like, hey man, we all love you. And like, you know, and he's like, we all love you, dude. And we know that like your exterior, you know, when you're this way, like towards people when you first meet them and stuff. And I'm like, he's like, but maybe we could do a little bit less of that. And I was like, he's like, because people that don't, I go, bro, you're trying to tell me
a little bit less.
I'm like, you're trying to tell me that I should be a different person. I go, dude, this for me is like a sonar. You know, it's like me finding, hey, is this person on my team or not?
Yes.
I don't want to fucking waste my time wondering, is this person smart enough to understand sarcasm? Are they honest enough with themselves? You know, or are they a good enough person to be like, hey, I want to give this guy a chance to see what he's really like. You know what I mean? Or am I just going to judge him? You know, and I'm like, dude, that is one of my superpowers is I can tell pretty quickly whether, you know,
gonna vibe or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And like, you know, dating Alyssa, like she's met so many of my friends and stuff. And she's like, dude, everybody that's around you is cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, because I've learned how to like kind of weed out the ones that aren't that cool. And if they're not that cool, but I still like them, I'll be like, hey, this one kind of sucks this way, but you know, here's what I like about him. You know what I mean? Like, so watch out for this.
Yeah.
You know, but like, and that's the thing is I also don't think I'd like judge people too hard. You know, even people that like we were talking about, I disagree with. I'm like, okay, you disagree with me. That's fine. Can we still be friends? And they're like, no. And I'm like, dude, I don't think you're doing anybody a favor by tiptoeing around all of the trauma and stuff. That would be like somebody that's got a compound fracture and they're trying to like pretend they don't.
I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. And you're like, no, dude, you need to go to the hospital.
Right. Fucking.
We need to address. No, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm just going to pretend like it didn't happen. You're like,
you're going to bleed to death.
No, dude, the rest of your life is going to suck. Like we
think long term, please.
Yes. Like,
think long term.
It's like, dude, that's how I think about that. And so it's like, dude, if we don't talk about these topics, if we don't do jokes like Shane Gillis did, like we don't do that stuff, it's like we're not doing anybody any favor.
No,
we're not. You know what we're doing is we're like, oh, that's not my problem. I'm just going to stay away from that. And it's like, and that creates more of a wall between us than anything else.
Yeah. When things are taboo, nothing good comes of that. Like, you know, and what I'm saying, taboo is like, they can't talk about it, not necessarily like not do it.
Yeah.
But it's like not talking about it. I think that's fucking ridiculously stupid. Could you imagine though, really quick, because when you said that, like, oh, could you not be, you know, so much of you? Can you imagine if I asked you to tone it down? Like, what the?
No, and you never would.
I know, God,
and
no.
it's funny because this buddy,
it would be weird to fucking be around you.
I love this dude, and he was probably a little bit drunk or whatever. But
Yeah.
and if we had a conversation about it, he'd probably be like, "Yeah, I get your point of view," you know, and we'd be cool.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a big deal. But I don't know, dude. And look, whether he's right or wrong, I don't think there's such a thing as right or wrong in that conversation. But I just am like, dude, I know everybody that knows me, like really knows me, is like, I would fucking trust that guy in any situation.
Yes.
If I really needed him, I would trust him.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know that my friends that really know me know that. And I'm a smart ass dude, and I tell jokes that cut to the core.
Mm-hmm.
And I've started teasing Alyssa, and we talked about this too. And she's like, dude, you tease me a lot. And I'm like, but like in a bad way? Like,
No.
And she's just not used to it. And I'm like, dude, if I didn't like you, I wouldn't tease you.
So I had a conversation with an employee today, and
she's like, you suck at your job.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing you.
Just fucking around. But
really, why are you so bad at it?
she was like, you know, venting, right? I was letting her vent, and she's not liking a certain person at work. And she's just like, I can't be a fake person, Nick. I said, I don't know. Like that's one of like your greatest qualities. Honestly, you're not a fucking fake person. You're not going to pretend to like anyone. She goes, I know, but like, I can't tell this person to like go fuck off like I can't you, because I tell people to go fuck off. We're like, oh, you're a fuckface, you know. And she's like, I insult people that I care about.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you insult Alyssa, but teasing and being playful the way you are.
I'm not teasing her about things I dislike about her.
Right.
But and also, I don't know if that there's anything I really dislike about her, but I'll tease her about something, but I'm like, dude, like that thing you do, it doesn't bother me.
No.
You know, I'm going to tease you because I also think that there's a level of intimacy in the teasing.
There is.
Also, you know, it's like, hey, I see you. And I can laugh about it. I'm not upset. I'm not like bummed.
Yeah.
You know, I can tease you.
I'm not saying the shit to make you feel bad.
Yeah. I'm just like, and maybe, you know, people are raised differently or whatever, but I think that kind of attitude is what's missing in the world. And I think there's so much like, dude, when we were kids, you know, Republicans and Democrats could argue about topics. And then at the end of the day, like, you know, hang out and be okay. Be like, hey, we disagree on that. But like also feel like they're both mutually enlightened by understanding the other side's perspective better and draws us closer together. But now it's like we're being conditioned to, if you don't agree with my point of view, then you're either evil or you're stupid.
Yeah, I can't. That's one of my pet peeves, is when someone is expressing their perspective, and if I don't put their feelings first, then I'm wrong. But it's like, you're telling me that my feelings don't matter in this situation, which is contradicting to what you're trying to accomplish here. Like, I don't fucking get that shit.
Yeah.
I fucking don't get that. But like you, and like being funny and being yourself around people, yeah, you're playful and all that, but I've also been around you to where a friend of ours has been saying some things that were like, now's not the time. And no one else said anything until the right moment presented itself. And you privately said that to our friend. You're like, hey, you probably shouldn't be saying this shit right now, dude. It's like, so I think you also,
I know
you can read a room.
Yeah.
You know what
absolutely.
I mean? Like that's
sometimes I just don't care.
Well, yeah. I like those times too. But even when you don't care, let's just say, it's still funny. It's not insulting. It's not disrespectful.
Yeah.
Right. You can say things that would be completely disrespectful in a room of people that don't know you that well, but you say the same thing in front of, like, you know, the guys and stuff, and even guys, chicks and shit that are familiar with you, that are absolutely funny, break the ice, whatever. But I've seen you ask someone to tone it back, but not in front of other people that's going to make that person feel ashamed, you know, embarrassed or anything like that.
Oh, I've thank you for noticing.
Yeah.
But I have done stuff where I've tried to be like low key about it, letting them know, and they don't get it. And then I just start fucking rousting them in front of everybody.
Nice.
Just be like, dude, this guy's an idiot. Now he's going to get it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the person I'm talking about, you wouldn't do that in front of. Well, yeah, you fucking would. Never mind.
Well,
yeah, you would.
I mean, look, dude, I don't think that I'm, I think everybody, I don't know. I like people, and I don't ever say anything with malice in my heart. You know what I mean? Like, and also I don't think that I'm the end all be all. Like, I know everything. And I think a lot of people think that they have all the answers. And I think that that is not an intelligent point of view.
No, it's not.
I think a more intelligent
it's very ignorant, dude.
I agree. Yeah. I think the more intelligent you get, the more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. You know, and so it's like, you know, the more perspective you get, the more you realize how like finite your own perspective is. It's small.
It is.
Oh, dude,
with your wiener.
Yeah. Yes. But going back to comedy and the role that comedy plays, I think we need more of that. And that's where I'm like, I'm trying to figure out my voice, dude. One, I'm trying to figure out like, dude, if I get in front of an audience of people that know me, dude, I could do whatever jokes I want, and they're gonna know it's okay to laugh because they know me, they know my heart. And it's like, how do you do that in 1 minute? That's a skill, dude. That's a craft. You know, is being able to get that across to people and express to them and be vulnerable. Being vulnerable, like with friends, is one thing. Being vulnerable on stage with a bunch of strangers, bro, that's a whole other bag of tricks, dude. That's hard.
It's got to be, extremely difficult. It would take a lot of confidence, a lot of security in yourself, right? To be able to say something and not feel guilty if you offend someone that shouldn't be offended if you're going to a comedy show anyway. And to just ease on through it. So but
also, I mean, there's a side to it where, you know, it's like, if it's funny, people will laugh.
Yeah.
Even if it's a taboo subject, you know, but you also got to feel like, okay, I know this person doesn't like, you know, I don't know. I feel like as a white person, as a white straight male, I don't know.
Straight?
Yeah. Well, for a little gay, like my left hand's gay.
That's so funny.
I know. But, I think that, and maybe that's also in my own head, and maybe I should just stop caring about it. That's one of the things that I've been thinking about, you know, even after like this little show I did last night, is like, dude, I've cared about what people think. And it's not because, like, one, I've got to understand that, like, not everybody's going to like me, dude, no matter what. Right. No matter what.
Whether you're telling a joke or not.
Yes. Whether it does not matter. Some people are just going to see my face and be like, I don't like that face.
Punch it.
You know, or I'll punch you right in the face, man. Like my dad, you know, but and my mom and my brother and my dog. He can't even make a fist, but he can punch me in the face. I think that the world needs more of that, and I'm trying to figure out my voice, and I want to express those kinds of things. You know, like my whole trans bit, dude. Like I love this bit, and I think the angle that I'm coming from is better now. Should I just do it?
No.
Why not?
Tweak it.
No, right now.
No.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's good. I think we're all a little bit trans. A little bit? If you were to tell me that you identify 100% in the body that you were born in, I would say you're full of shit.
Yeah.
I would also say you wouldn't be getting so many tattoos.
Okay.
If you 100% identified exactly into the body that you're born with,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, would you do crunches? Would you do push-up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, none of us are ever happy with our bodies. I don't identify as the body that I was born into. I identify as a straight male with a much bigger dick. That's just me. But nobody identifies. Nobody's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't change a single thing about me. Trans people are not that much different than the rest of the world. They just hate themselves way more.
They do.
Yeah. And it's because we all hate ourselves. Like, join the club, dude. Why are we talking about the differences between us? We should be talking about, dude, we all hate ourselves. Like, can we find that common ground?
Yes.
We all hate ourselves a little bit. We all look at ourselves and like, fuck. You know, and most of us are just like, I'm not going to look at that anymore. You know, I don't, because I don't like that. You know, or if we got some money, we're like, oh, I'm going to go to a surgeon and get it changed. You know, dude, everybody has that. Everybody has that. you know, and it's like, oh, because you're this way, like, you know, like dude, the people that are like, you know, that's transphobic if you know, don't want to have sex with a trans woman. And I'm like, is it?
That's my preference.
Yeah, that's like saying, like, dude, I'm fucking chocolate phobic because I don't like chocolate ice cream. Like, it's stupid. It's stupid. Like, oh, I should have to want to have sex with every kind of human. No, dude, there's certain shit that I'm attracted to, you know? Like, you know, like I got a buddy who likes, you know, not bigger, but like, you know,
voluptuous
softball girls.
Yeah.
You know, like he likes a good softball catcher with big boobs and, you know, she's got some thick thighs on her. She's curvy in all the right places, you know, it likes more to grab onto. Like, I respect that, dude. I'm not personally, that's not my jam.
It's not,
you know, I like more trim girls, but also, I mean, I'm not going to turn down one of, you know, but you know, there's,
I'm not that selective.
Look, dude, that's the thing is like, okay, if somebody says like, that's transphobic, I'll be like, okay, well, why don't you go fucking 800-pound man?
Yeah.
You know, like, whoa, you're fat, you're fat phobic.
Yeah. Real quick.
You idiot.
Yeah.
Like, you're a racist against fat people. I don't even know what you call that. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And it's like, dude, I don't want to have sex with a fat girl, just like I don't want to eat a veggie burger. I don't like if I have a barbecue, dude, and I'm making myself an actual grade A real beef burger on the grill, dude, and it's delicious. Like, I like that. That's what I like.
Are you going to bring veggie burgers for your friends though?
If they ask me to, sure. You know, I'm like, dude, I'm not, if somebody shows up to my barbecue, hey, here's another thing, right?
Okay.
Is like,
here goes his brain, people.
Yeah. Here's the way I see the world, right? It's like, let's say I had, like, if I went over to Josh and Lemia's place and they're having a barbecue, I wouldn't expect them to have beef patties.
No,
I wouldn't.
Right.
They're vegans. I wouldn't expect them to do that. They might do that for us,
right?
Just because
I could actually see them
because they're
that.
Awesome people,
right?
But if they didn't, I wouldn't be. My feelings wouldn't be hurt. I wouldn't be offended, right? I would be like, ugh. Or I would be like, hey, I'm going to bring my own. And they would be like, okay, cool. You know, do your thing, dude. You know, because they're cool like that. Right. And if I had my own barbecue, and maybe I'll get some, if I knew some people were coming and they're my friends, yeah, dude, I'll get some veggie burgers on there. But if somebody showed up, you know, if a friend brought a date and they were vegan and they brought, you know, some vegan burger patties, you know, like, I'm not going to be like, get that gay shit off of my grill. No, dude, I'll take your little hockey puck and I'll throw that thing on my grates, dude. I might even flip it for you, you know, and I'll ask you how you like it cooked. So I don't know how you cook one of those, dude.
Fucking thaws out.
I don't know how you cook one of those, dude. But I'm like, because I believe that everybody has the right to feel and act the way that they want, even if I disagree with that, as long as it doesn't harm another human being or infringe upon their rights. I would fight for your right to eat a veggie burger anywhere you want. Yeah. Just as hard as I would fight for my right to believe that that's not a fucking burger.
Yeah. And
then
I'm not going to sleep with a trans person.
And I would fight for your right to call it a burger as long as you also fight for my right, fight for my right to allow me to not have to call it a burger.
No.
Right? That's what this is, dude.
Yeah, it's all imposing, you know, people's beliefs or their opinions on others, and then you get into an argument about it, and then brings into feelings. And a lot of people, I don't say a lot of people, it's common that they'll say it's infringing on my rights. It's like, dude,
no, it's not.
No, it's not. I'm not.
You can't.
Like, you can't. Don't do that one. Like, that's not even fucking accurate. That bugs me.
That's like, you know, like there's an advocacy group for chocolate, and it's like, chocolate is just as good as vanilla. If you don't eat any of it, you are a bad person.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, dude, this is stupid. Like, you know, I believe in equal opportunity and protection under the law for all people, regardless of what you're doing, as long as it's not like, you know, like hurting somebody else. Right. And I don't think trans people are bad people. And I don't know the science, the medical stuff behind it. And I'm like, dude, if that's what makes you happy, cool. Awesome, dude. I respect that. And I just don't want to have sex you know, with you. I don't want to eat a veggie burger, but it also depends on how long it's been since I had a burger.
Yeah, but I also, though, it's like there's people can have opposing views, opposing perspectives, and still be friends. I have a friend, and I think it would be interesting one of these days to have them on here. We are complete polar opposites when it comes to most beliefs, and definitely opinions. However, they understand sarcasm, they understand where I'm coming from, they understand my heart, I understand theirs, to where nothing is, like you were saying, hurtful, harmful. I'm not trying to make you feel like a piece of shit. And I can joke with them all day long, but also I can have conversations that have nothing to fucking do with that.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with it at all, and have a dinner with them and their spouse, because I don't want to say if it's a male or a female. And but it's just crazy. It's and I've listened to this person, you know, express some things and frustrations that they've gone through with their opposing views, and I get it sometimes, but then there's other times where I'm like, no, you know, that's not where my head's at. And everything's fine. Everything's fine. So if I can get along with that person, anyone else can too.
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with how open-minded they are. And again, they know that they don't know everything. It's just where they're going to stand. Like, this is where I'm going to plant my flag when it comes to certain things. And it doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't make them fucking evil. It doesn't make them smarter than me or anything like that. And I think that the biggest thing, the biggest ingredient when it comes to people at polar opposites is humility. It's like, be humble enough to know that like, you're not fucking right. And just because I don't agree with you, I'm not wrong either.
Yeah.
It just fucking is, dude. And shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I think we've been conditioned to,
like sinking in this
I don't even know what I'm saying right now, but I think we've been conditioned to like believe that those that disagree with us are evil or whatever.
Your enemy, dude. It's
yeah, like, and I think part of it has to do with technology and how much access to information and how many voices there are out there now, and like how much I think technology. It's like, growing up, I think you remember when they used to have those conversations about like video games and about how, in TV, like the average kid by the age of 12 has seen like so many number of like acts of violence.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, and from video games, from movies, all that stuff compared to, 50 years earlier and stuff like that. It's like that stuff obviously has an effect on you.
Mm.
And you think about, from the time you and I were kids growing up in the 80s, like, yeah, I watched a lot of TV, but I mean, dude, what did we have? Like 30 channels?
13?
Yeah, whatever. But I mean, like there was very limited programming.
Right.
Maybe we saw some violent movies and stuff like that. But you think about the number of hours that you spent a day looking at a screen and getting fed, content was, I mean, dude, if I said, I mean, probably watched a lot of cartoons when I got home from school and stuff like that. And, whatever.
But did you really though?
I mean, let's just say it was, like 2 hours a day max,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's like 12
sometimes,
like, dude, I mean, even if I look at my
the TV would turn fucking off at one time when we were young. Like there was no more TV after like fucking 10 o'clock or some shit.
I don't know. There was late night cable, dude.
Was there?
Yeah. There used to be this guy, Wally George.
Oh, that's right.
Remember Wally George, dude?
My fucking God.
Wally George was like Trump. He was he was like MAGA before MAGA ever existed.
Pretty much. He was like the Newt Gingrich.
Dude, we gotta do a tribute to Wally George. Oh my dude, that guy was nuts. And he's just an Orange County thing.
Could you imagine him being on fucking TV and seeing his shit? Oh my God, dude, we gotta.
You know what I think he looks like? I think, like, when I think in my head, he looks like the live version before he died. The Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was like the Crypt Keeper was Wally George before he died.
God.
Dude, that's so rad. Yeah. But dude, I remember one of my buddies, we used to call into like those like late night like televangelist shows and stuff and like talk shit.
The fuck?
Dude.
Only you.
Dude, we used to talk so much shit.
Yeah. Jones
Why did I turn it back on?
Jones and I would do all kinds of prank calls all the fucking time.
Yeah.
It was like, silly, stupid
Yeah.
shit.
We
when you're
used to do that
elementary
stuff all the time
school.
too. Yeah.
Fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right, dude.
Yeah. We gotta do this because I gotta get showered and I gotta go do some comedy. So
where are you going tonight? Oh, Anaheim again? Yeah. Okay. Fuck yeah.
Yep. So I gotta keep working on my same stuff, dude. I haven't been doing my same stuff enough. So anyways,
I think that's a good thing. Really quick before we hang up, I think it's a good thing that
let's hang up this podcast.
Is that what I just said? I think I saw you on your phone. Yeah, I'm old school, peeps. But I think it's good that you have so many different 5-minuters, 6-minuters, 9-minuters. I mean, and there's been like a combination of your jokes. So it just shows that you're really figuring things out.
I am. I think the biggest key for me most recently was just getting my writing, like figuring out how my writing style is and how to get into a groove, because I would sit there with a pen and paper, dude, and just be like, I can't come up with anything, dude. And I've gotten better about that. And I've got a better flow. I spent probably like 30 hours last week writing. And big part of my writing is taking my existing jokes
and expanding.
And I'm like, not just, maybe expanding them, but like, I'm trying to be more methodical about my like fixed jokes. It's like, because I'm like, okay, well, I've got to do a 7-minute set, say, right? And I need to have that be like ready to go. And I want those same jokes to be able to be stacked upon each other, have parts where I can, lengthen them and know if I'm going somewhere, I'm driving somewhere to do comedy and they say, hey, you got 12 minutes and here's the audience. I need to be able to pull all my jokes like out of the bag of tricks and be like, okay, what kind of audience is this? Okay, here's the jokes. And here's this cleaner version of the same joke that I need to put in, and also
cleaner, gross.
Yeah, no, but like, you know what I mean? Like, just like even my joke about the, impregnating that old woman in the Dominican Republic, my original punchline was like,
that you're
I'm fertile as fuck.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't just say I'm fertile because it didn't have that hitting home. And so I was like, so now I changed it to, I just knew that the gospel wasn't the only thing I was spreading. You know what I mean? Like which I think, it's bad. I mean, I like both, but so what I'm working on right now is taking those jokes and not just, I mean, like when I say cleaning them up, I mean, I'm tightening them up.
I know what you mean.
Tightening them up. Also, there's cleaning some of them up too, is like cleaning them so they're not as
raunchy.
Yeah. But, tightening them up. And also part of tightening them up is I'm starting to look at them now and I'm like, okay, I want to tell a story for this joke, right? This joke has a setup, and the setup, I could just tell the setup and then tell the punchline, right? But maybe the setup takes me 20, 30 seconds, right? So I'm like, okay, well, what I really need is I need like 2 jokes in the setup so that people are already laughing a little bit, and then, like, for example, like
for the kill.
Yeah, my joke about like, me having a hard time dating in the Mormon church because I've, they didn't always appreciate my sense of humor. And I've always been a comedian. Like my mouth has always gotten me in trouble. Like it's gotten me in, more trouble than Brigham Young in a room full of teenage girls. I'm like, throwing something like that in there, kind of like, that's the thing is like, I'm like, I've studied, some of the best comedians and, dude, there's still so much to learn, but like, that's what I'm trying to do. So I keep like, improving them until I think there's going to be a point where I'm like, that joke it's done.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so it's almost like, then I'm going to tell it in some sort of a scenario. And I think that's kind of the path of comedians is you kind of do that. Like they go on tour, right? And they go on tour and they're taking this material as they're on tour and they have their jokes built out and everything. And they're telling them, and every day they're telling them, they're just slightly tweaking them. And then at the end of the tour, they do a special and they tell the like, the completely baked version of that joke or all of those jokes, and then they just wrap a bow on it and they put it to bed and they don't tell those jokes anymore.
Like hardly ever again.
Yeah. And that's it's been fun, dude. I love it, and I don't know, my confidence grows. It's crazy because my dad is like, withering away.
Yeah.
And we have these moments where like, he had a scare. We had to put him in the hospital like a week and a half ago, or
2 weeks
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago tomorrow. But we had to put him in the hospital, and he was in the hospital for like 5 days. But every time something like this happens, it's like this is our norm, and then something happens and he goes way down, and then he comes back up a little bit to a new norm. And it's like we're mourning that part of him. And I'm like looking at the opposite of that with comedy is I'm like, here's my joke today. And then I tell it on stage and I slightly tweak something, or I think of something while I'm on stage, and I'm like, oh, that got a good laugh, and I just said that like off the cuff, because it just came to my head in the moment. And I'm like, oh, I can incorporate that in my jokes. So then like each time I tell these jokes, there's like a new norm, and it gets better and better and better. Okay. So I don't know why I brought my dad into that. That's how my brain just always makes these stupid connections. Stupid brain. Anyways, we got to wrap up.
We got to hang up. Let's hang up.
All right. Hang up, dude. Peace out, everybody. Thanks, Nick.
Guys.